Uniform from 7-2, responding.
Call coffee.
Do I look like a babysitter?
God, no.
Call lunch. Call home.
Yeah, just that.
I have a feeling it's about to get a lot more complicated.
Hello everyone, I am Adriano Ercolani for Cinema Daily US. I'm here with Katherine Devlin and Nathan Braniff to talk about Blue Lights Season 3. First of all, guys, thank you very much for the interview. Season 3 is as good as the previous two ones. It's a really compelling show. And I would like actually to start talking about your characters, because both Annie and Tommy in the season, they go through, even if in different ways, they go through some loss. So how did you manage to change your interpretation in order to make this sense of loss even more explicit?
I think, it's definitely a testament to the writing, and particularly this season, where I think across the board, so many actors are being challenged with the material, and it's great. Like I love being challenged as an actor, and to be able to show just different sides to Annie and different facets to her character, and revealing parts of herself that she perhaps didn't even know existed, so that's, I think it's always just really lovely to be getting back into it and fully fleshing out the character.
Yeah, and for me, like, in terms of loss, I guess you could say that the loss that Tommy is still carrying is from series 1, when he lost Jerry, and it's still, Jerry's legacy is very much still living within Tommy, and I think they're all, it never at any point, is there any real like emphasis on grievances with loss or anything, because I think it's sort of authentic in the way that these people just have to get on, no matter what they lose, and they just have to keep doing their job as best they can, and I think it's no different in this series.
Absolutely. I was actually curious about the costume. Does wearing the very heavy uniform, very specific uniform all the time, help you in some way to understand your character's body language?
100%, 100%. And for me as an actor, one of the big things is like the shoes that I wear.
Yes.
Really helps me feel like the character, so like anytime even I'm doing like a self-tape or something for an audition at home, I'll always choose a pair of shoes that I think the character would be in. And those big boots, they're big and they're heavy, and as soon as I put my feet into those boots, I feel like I'm Tommy, and that's not to mention all the other parts of the uniform. You've got those big vests which are heavy and hard to move in, and it really makes you feel like you're the real deal. It helps you slip into that mindset and really believe yourself that you're a policeman.
I agree. Katherine, compared to season 1, Annie's character now, she seems to be wise. I remember in season 1 she was very instinct, she used her hands, she was very physical in some way. Is this a character arc that you knew that was going to be developed in 3 seasons, or in this season 3 you had to face a new kind of character in some way?
Yeah, I think, it's been such a journey, and she's come so far, and I think across the board the characters and the actors as well have come so far, and behind the scenes, like, we've all become so close. But season 1, Annie was very bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, super reactive, always had like an emotional reaction to something, and I mean, that side of her she still has that ballsiness and that grit, but I think in sort of like in a real kind of simplistic way, like, I think she's just matured in herself, and I think she's grown with the job, and she's found like a team within the police force, and she naturally has that with her being a camogie player and the sportsmanship side to her, that she is a team player and she cares for other people. So she has grown in many ways, but at the same time, she's still Annie. I mean, she's still willing to punch a few people in the face if she has to.
I can tell, yeah. You can definitely tell, even in season 2, you're right. This question is for both. Is there any maybe literary character or any movie character that inspired you in some way when you started thinking years ago how to shape the
Yeah.
character?
There was one character, and I very ashamedly can't even remember the character's name now or the actor who plays it. But in Training Day, you know, the younger cop that Denzel Washington kind of brings in and takes into all these like crazy situations. Like in a way, I kind of saw Tommy a bit like him, you know, maybe especially when Tommy had that relationship with Jerry, you know. I guess in the third series, it's a similar vibe in the relationship that Tommy and Collie are beginning to have, you know, this new intelligence guy. So yeah, I wouldn't say it was like a direct, you know, inspiration, but it definitely, watching that movie and watching that character and just, you know, how out of his depth he was in some of those situations, I sort of drew a little bit from that, you know, and put it into Tommy.
Ethan Hawke and Denzel Washington together, that movie is really, really tough.
It's yeah.
And what I like a lot about Blue Lights, and it actually shows an environment like Belfast that is still very full of contradiction. You show that the city is still divided. There are social issues, political issues. I don't want to talk about message because probably message is not the right word for a show like this. But what would you like the audience will take away watching Blue Lights and experiencing what's going on in Belfast?
It's a good question, and I think that word contradiction is actually a really good way of putting it, because Belfast is ever changing and it's ever growing, and also people are naturally going to come in with their own opinions and like historical sort of experiences, etc. But I think what Blue Lights does so well, and funny enough, Stephen was chatting about it the other day, is there's so many different generations, like it's a melting pot within Blue Lights. And it's also, there's so many different opinions as well, and on, you know, subconsciously is too, in terms of the PSNI, etc. And I think most importantly, and hopefully, it just sparks conversations. That's what I want. Like, it just sparks the opportunity for people to talk about it. And we do have this culture of like brushing things under the carpet and hush hush. So I think it just hopefully opens up that window for people just to do research and to possibly know the history and to talk to each other.
Yeah, and you know, no, it's no secret that, you know, Belfast has had its troubling times in the past sort of 20 or 30 years, but I think we're really fortunate right now to be experiencing like such a creative boom in Belfast and Northern Ireland, and maybe that's because, you know, what has happened in the past. Maybe it was you know, people felt slightly oppressed and not be able to express themselves how they want. And it's so nice that this show has kind of happened in parallel to that. You know, it's almost like a bit of a celebration of how amazing a city Belfast is, and you know, how it's growing and how it's evolving, you know.
That's so true. And it's like a tale as old as time, really, when it comes to Irish people in using art as a form of therapy and also storytelling.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely. I think my time is up. Guys, thank you very much for the interview, and it was really a pleasure to talk with you, and congratulations.
Adriana, thank you very much, man. Thank you.
See ya.
Thank you.
When I first started this job, I thought I knew everything, and now I feel like I don't know anything at all.
See you tomorrow, Skipper.